here we are, live on the air. Main Street Barrie, Fly on the Wall Productions, bringing you the Aired Out podcast. Good morning and welcome to the beginning of the weekend. Whew, man, there's so much going on. Good morning, Rex. How are you?
What's going on, buddy?
Your bald head is looking shinier.
Well, I got a bunch of hair on there today. I didn't even shave my head today.
It's looking shiny.
It is not looking shiny. It's kind of dull because of all the hair on my head.
I'm going to do a screenshot here of Fontaine's Traditions at Fontaine Meadows. They've got
I could eat steak for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I know. Look at this. Have you seen? So first of all, this is their freezer that is loaded up with grass-fed local beef. This is right past the junction of 14 and Route 2 there. Stay on Route 2 for another 100 yards.
Is it up by the sawmill, the Fontaine sawmill?
Well, it's that's the Fontaine family, but it's not on 14. It's on Route 2. So
Right.
So
isn't it right up the road? Isn't there like a Bragg's farm or something like that where they sell maple creamies?
That's up on 14.
Oh, that's where the sawmill is.
Yeah, stay on 2.
Gotcha.
Stay on Route 2.
Did you know? You know a lot of
just past the junction, another 100 yards.
Did you know, like the heart, they tell you like, oh, when you're trying to save your heart, stay away from red meat.
Yeah.
That's the worst fucking thing you could do, man.
Yeah.
Don't stay away from red meat. Regulate.
Yeah.
Don't eat super fatty. It's not the red meat. It's the fat.
That's a picture of one of their burgers.
Jesus.
With their
I could eat that right now.
I know. With their local grass-fed beef. And
that's actually what I would eat right now.
Tomahawk.
Oh, yeah.
Tomahawk steaks. They've got the sale going on tomorrow, and cold brews as well. So and even their brew is on sale.
Wow, my butcher doesn't sell beer.
Yeah, yeah. But this starts tomorrow at noon.
Oh, really?
The sale.
I'm heading. I'm checking it out. I got to check that out.
You like that? You like that local grass-fed beef?
So my freezer's full. I go up to I don't want to. I'm not. I go to another place up in Orange.
Sure.
And if they paid me, I'd mention their name.
Yeah.
But they haven't paid me, so.
Yeah.
But they're great. No, I'm fucking with you. My freezer is full. I stopped buying any meat from the grocery store.
From the grocery store. Yeah.
I no longer feel bloated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel inflamed because it's not really bloating. It's inflammation.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's really.
Wow.
It really is.
Good morning, old fella.
What's up, old boy?
Happy Friday.
Is it a happy Friday?
Oh, my God.
I don't think it's very high. I see a lot of angry people online.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like happy.
There is. I'm going to read something here in just a little bit from a business owner right here in Central Vermont, and then after I'm done reading it, I'll tell you who that business owner is. Before we get there, quickly here, FBG Theaters, FGB Theaters. That would be the Capitol Showplace and the Paramount right here in Barrie. They've got
what a great family little business, man.
I know.
I can't say enough good things. I was going there since I was a little tiny kid.
Yeah.
And that was always, I mean, we live in Vermont. There's not a lot to do.
Yep.
So that just having that staple right here in Barrie and Montpelier,
I know,
has been huge throughout my entire life.
It's going to be cold this weekend.
Yeah.
We've got some weather coming in Sunday night into Monday, but I'm telling you, get out to the movies. Disappear from the planet for a couple of hours and escapism. Go into a different realm.
Get out just for your own mental health.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of your house.
Yep. Go to the movies. Companions.
I'm sorry, JD. I am actively working on myself for not swearing as much.
It's okay.
I really am, man.
You know, hey, listen. You're who you are, right?
No, but I get it.
All right.
I'm going to save the swearing for very important things.
All right. When you get worked up, let me run down some of the movies that are playing.
Perfect.
Here. Companion, Complete Unknown, that's the Bob Dylan story. Flight Risk, Mufasa the Lion King, September 5th. Those are playing right now at the Capitol and at the Paramount. Dogman and Valiant One. So Dogman, Lily's got to see that. She loves the Dogman series. I'm going to start out this morning. I'm going to, first of all, we should probably tell everyone what the weather forecast is. And I should also mention, before I forget, that Steve McKenzie is going to be coming on the air with me on Monday.
He's got a lot of really good information. I understand why. I mean, I don't get why people don't use you more often to get that information out of you.
Well,
You're the biggest local podcast out there.
Well,
that's an easy way to get the word out.
He'll be in Monday morning, and we're
Nice.
going to be talking about J.J. Newberry Building.
Yep.
Which is
Try to put to. I mean, because that thing has caused a lot of emotional response
for a long time.
there. So
a long time.
It's good to have these people come on and explain themselves so
Yeah.
that people can see, because not everything's a fucking conspiracy. Damn it, I did
There
it
you
again.
did
I'm
it
going to start
again.
a swear jar up there. You know what? Matter of fact, start
Let's
a swear
do
jar.
that.
Let's do a swear jar. Every time I swear, I'm going to put money in there.
Yes.
And when that thing fills up, we'll donate it.
Yes.
How about that?
I would love to
You know what?
do
I'm going
that.
to start with $10 right now, and we'll just
right.
get that right out of the way.
All right. Let's do
Okay,
it.
the $10 swear jar.
Can we do that?
Matter of fact, I
Well,
don't have a 10,
just
so
change.
we'll start with a $20.
Just
No, because I'm
change.
going to use it up.
That's fine.
I'm definitely going to use it up. Keep
All right.
track.
All
Keep
right.
track. There's my first 20.
I want to.
Every guest has to put into the swear jar.
Come on, it's not going to be $20.
Oh, fuck it ain't. There's 3.
We also have to determine where this money is going to go exactly.
We'll figure that out later.
Well, probably a charity of some sort, but we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. Something local and direct.
All right. Cloudy skies today. Some snow showers developing this afternoon, and 38 degrees is what it's going to be. Let's see. So drive carefully, because we could get, some poor visibility.
I should probably get my winter tires on, shouldn't I?
You probably should. It's almost February, bud.
Yeah, but I have 4-wheel drive.
Talked about this the other day. All the people driving around. I got 4-wheel drive. I'm 4-wheel drive. I got all seasons on. Let's see. Tonight, 9 degrees, cloudy skies, snow showers, and
Bubbly weather.
Saturday looks like 13 tomorrow for the high only, with partly sunny skies. 13 for the high. That's the high. And then on Sunday, rebound.
You know what, though? Inside of the gym at Greater City MMA, it's like 60.
Yeah. Yeah.
We keep it low because
Yeah, you have
once
to.
Sophia starts punching me in the face,
You sweat.
I sweat. Yep.
Let's see.
Actually, I have no
Cloudy
problem
on
sweating.
Sunday and 21, and then Sunday night is when we've got some snow developing. They're saying around 3 inches Sunday night into Monday morning. So, and it could be more than that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Well, obviously,
Think about the winter tires.
we all know. Yeah, you should think about the winter tires. We all know how to watch and pay attention to the weather. We get it on our phone, but I'm going to be paying attention to it too, and I'll let you know if there's anything that's
All right. I appreciate that.
Let's see. How about we did weather. How about a couple of birthdays this morning? And
It's your birthday.
listen, if you know anyone,
I will.
make fun of them.
No,
if you
I
want
don't
to.
want to make fun of people. Come on, it's Mental Health Awareness Week.
Well, it's true. Linda Kuchar, great
I know
lady.
Linda.
Great lady.
Yeah.
She's on the birthday list today. Jessica Garrison, happy birthday to you. Adriana Pemberton,
I know some Pembertons.
Angie Whitney, Jessica Garrison, I think I mentioned her. Seth Wild,
Oh, I know Seth.
Dan Egan. That's the skier, Dan Egan. Daniel Gorton, Carrie Blakely, and
It's funny how much trouble you're having pronouncing like basic names.
I'm horrible.
Todd Smith.
Todd it's Smith.
Then you're like Kowishna.
Gene Pratt, Tom Lamson. Happy birthday, everyone.
Perfect. Happy.
I got it done. Yes. Good morning, Shirley and Glenn and
Glenn
G.
Brummert's on here.
Yeah, G is tuned in this morning. Donna
Morning,
Barton.
G.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna read something here in just a second. This actually, you know what? Let me just run down a couple of Vermont headlines. There's not that much that's going on. The governor.
Yep.
Bottom line, I mean, you can read all. If you,
Governor, I can't say enough, dude. I don't care. That guy saved my ass this week.
You can read about this stuff more. I don't need to read the whole story to you, but he is trying to get $13 million in tax breaks right now.
Dude, that freeze, that they did at the beginning of the week, I had a check waiting for me for $10,000. I did a bunch of work for the feds. It was a federal program that I did. I did a bunch of work. It got done. I did everything I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then they put that freeze on it and tried to tell me, oh, sorry. I can't pay you the $10,000 right now because we want to make sure. I was like, oh, hell no. And Governor Scott, Governor Scott's office got involved because I was a local contractor. I was like, I can't not get paid the $10,000 that I've already put out there for the federal government. And so the state and they took it out of their own fund and paid me this week.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess a lot of people didn't understand that those grants were tied to individual payments, even though they said they weren't. Oh my God, I can't believe a politician lied to us. Who would have thunk? Whatever, man.
Let's see.
I got it now.
No word yet of any kind of immigration enforcement happening here in Vermont.
We're rounding up criminals, right?
We're going to be watching what's going to be happening.
Isn't that what ICE is doing right now? They're rounding up criminals?
We're going to be watching what happens here in Vermont at our local farms and whatnot. We'll be paying attention to the news. But as of now, no immigration enforcement has happened yet in the state of Vermont.
Probably don't know where the fuck it is.
Did you hear about?
There it is again.
Another dollar in there. Did you hear about Gitmo? That we're sending 30,000 illegal immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. I was talking about this yesterday with G.
Are they going to rename it Auschwitz next?
I don't know. Storage. Incredible.
But that doesn't cost taxpayers nothing? So I guess I don't understand. I thought we wanted to get criminals out of our country, and they've deported, 3,500 people this week? That's a huge number. There's 11 million illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
It would take them, I think they said 28 years at this pace to get them out of our country, even just to find them and get them out of here. It's $96 billion in tax revenue that we get from them people, but did you know that I looked this up the other day because I was like, wow, that's a good idea. We shouldn't have criminals in here. So the first place I would look for these criminals is the 30,000 illegal immigrants that we're housing in our federal prison alone. Not one of them have been deported. We're paying to house them. We're actually paying to fucking house it. There it is again. House and feed them people. Why weren't those the first people put on a plane and sent back to their country? So it's not. Is it really about criminal illegals?
G had a great point yesterday. He's basically.
Let me say this though. I am a bit more biased towards them, and I 100% admit that. I used to live with those people in Central America. I have a different perspective of those people.
Right.
I don't go by what Donald Trump calls those people. I go by what my own personal experience of living with these people.
This is it's a really, really sensitive topic, very controversial, as I think
doesn't need to be.
We all know, because G's point yesterday is that scumbags come in all shapes and colors and ethnicity and documented or undocumented.
But if they're a U.S. citizen, we have to deal with them pieces of shit.
There are, and that was his point yesterday, is that there are so many U.S. citizens who are pieces of shit.
See, I think we can find common ground on immigration.
Just because you're an illegal immigrant doesn't mean that you're a scumbag.
Nope. That's where I said my perspective is different.
God.
I've seen what these people are trying to escape from. I've seen the people trying to escape.
Right.
You think a drug dealer, okay, when I was in Central America, Pablo Escobar had so much fucking money. I mean, that guy was buying submarines, bringing cocaine up through our rivers and stuff. You think they're going to chance loading a bunch of drugs and everything else to come through the Darien's Pass and hope that a kilo makes it here, when in fact they can bribe customs agents, they can come in through ships. Fuck, I mean, terrorists just buy plane tickets and temporary visas.
Right.
They just pull an Elon Musk.
Right.
They overstay their visas. Or Malani.
We have
those people were okay to overstay their visas. We're not talking about them people, though, right?
Right.
We're only talking about the brown people that overstay, right? We're not really talking about the Europeans that are overstaying. Hey, my heart's with you.
A drug bust in Bethel last night. 9 people, most of which were Vermonters and middle-aged Vermonters. Cocaine, fentanyl, 4 people from Connecticut. I think one was from Manchester. The other 3 were from Hartford. Shocker. Lots of guns, some homemade firearms also confiscated. And Bethel, last night, a grenade launcher.
Okay. No.
Yes. They had a grenade launcher.
Was it a 39 millimeter
I don't
or
know.
a 40 millimeter? Well, that makes a huge difference, because a 39 millimeter only launches smoke, bird bang, stuff like that. You have to be 40 millimeter in order for it to be an HE, a high explosive
I don't know,
round.
man. I don't know.
So I think that's just kind of a scare tactic, because to get your hands on a 40 millimeter tube grenade launcher, it's not that easy, you know.
Let's see. We have a guy named Chris Harper from Burlington, 37 years old. He's been missing since November. They're on the search for him. I think his last known whereabouts was in the Johnson or Jeffersonville area. That's in the news today. We had a huge snowmobile crash in Morgan last night up in the Northeast Kingdom.
Man, I remember growing up. I had friends of mine that lost. I remember specifically. He was a good friend of mine, and him and his sister, and losing his father in a snow machine accident on Christmas Eve. Rick Choquette from the
Rick
Bouncy House.
Choquette?
Yeah, his dad died on Christmas Eve when we were kids on and he was there. He was there when it happened. He tried to save his dad's life.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, it was a horrible situation for them growing up.
Well, this guy was taken to North Country Hospital and then immediately flown to UVM with real serious injuries. Obviously,
Scary.
if you're flying, you got some pretty significant
It's wild
injuries.
because I drive a motorcycle like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
But snow machines scare the shit out of
Yeah.
me.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
I can relate to that. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem landed at the Northeast Kingdom International Airport 2:00 yesterday afternoon, up here to, I guess, discuss the shooting of the U.S. Customs and Border agent.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
David Maland. I guess, there's obviously a huge investigation that's going on. And Teresa Youngblood, who was the female involved in that, in federal court in Burlington yesterday for a detention hearing, held without bail or conditions until her next court appearance on February 7th.
That's a whole crazy
February 7th. That's a week from today. So we'll see what happens. We're going to be watching that.
I'm not down with the Homeland Security, man. I'm not down with federal troops at all, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see. Getting a message here from G. Don't forget to have Rex address yesterday's comment on him.
What did I miss now?
Well, let's see. Well, there were a few comments about you.
Be more specific. I get comments. I get it all the time.
Gee,
I don't care.
you're gonna have to refresh me, screenshot me, text me, drop it here in the comments if you can. Which
Hey, you like my
comment?
Yeah.
Which one? There's so many. I do like your shirt.
You like my vintage shirt?
I like that. I like it.
I like it too, man. It reminds me of the food lines, the bread lines to get your government cheese. I'll never forget them days. Good times. Good times.
Did you and I've got of course I'm going to read some comments here and of course I'm going to get into some other things, but I just have to ask you, did you see Senator Schumer? You laughing already.
I don't even want to talk about these idiots. There's a reason why they have a 21% approval rating.
Senator Schumer said that people are aroused by Trump's policies. Aroused. You don't believe me, do you, Rex?
You know what? Honestly,
right here.
Honestly, I think he's right.
Here.
I 100. Have you seen some of the people defending him? They are absolutely aroused.
Listen to this.
I believe they touch themselves every time he speaks.
Listen to this.
Go to your local official, your local congressman, your local senator, and have them get to the president. But the roots of democracy are deep. People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time in terms of going...
Since Giuliani was on Jackass.
So yes, I think democracy will have an effect, and we are going to keep at it. People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time in terms of going, trying to get this done. So yes, I think democracy will have an effect, and we are going to keep at it. Go to your local official, your local congressman, your local senator, and have them get to the president. But the roots of democracy are deep.
I wonder if they know people
are aroused.
Are you aroused?
Not because of his speech.
Oh, my God. Just honestly. Jeez.
I don't know how anybody takes any of these guys seriously anymore.
know, man. I know. All right. I'm checking my phone here to see if there's a comment here from G.
You know what I saw the other day? I was up, because I'm building a house up on Richardson Road.
Yeah.
Have you seen what the Fectos have done up around there? Dude,
Amazing.
The Fectos are a great family.
Beckley Hill, have you been up around Beckley Hill?
Jim and Jason and Victor and the wife. Dan. Yep, Dan. Dan's a younger one. I worked directly with Jason a lot, and Jim I went to school with.
Yeah.
Great people. Jason was the youngest one. Dan's the middle one there.
Yeah.
But dude, you want to talk about like
really
the American dream, the
nice
family business, everything about their whole family is intertwined. I idolize those people as my own construction. I'm a first generation. They're like second generation. So I'm first generation. I've always idolized those people. Victor has done so much
since the 70s.
Yeah, dude. They're just such hard. Like when everybody else, those guys were grinding, working 7 days a week.
No matter what the season is.
No matter what the season was, they are living proof that hard work pays off.
Yeah.
100%.
I know.
There's no way around it.
They're out there setting homes in snow and rain and no matter what.
And they keep the costs down.
Yeah.
You know, you can get a modular home for a lesser price so that people can afford to buy them. And their finance programs. That finance really helped their business a ton.
Yep.
Because you never used to be able to get a finance on a manufactured home, or we used to call them mobile homes. You could never get any type of financing yet. But those mobile homes are they're making it so people can own a home.
Yeah.
You know?
And not have a huge home that they're struggling to heat, too.
Yeah.
You know, you get something that's the right size for what you got. I mean, if it's just you and your wife and the dog, you know, people are going smaller now.
I'm in construction. I've been in construction my whole life, and I have nothing bad to say about them people. I think they're some of the greatest people around here.
Yeah.
People, business owners, construction guys could learn a ton from them guys. And you know how they made their business? That's my whole business model and family is based on them.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
Because their whole everything, no, I don't want to say their compound, but they took advantage. They used the property that they own to build for their own family. Their families lived.
I know
would
you're
love
passionate
that.
about that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They've kept their family together, and by keeping their family together, they sent each one of their kids to college to learn a certain part of their business.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And it's boomed their business.
Brilliant.
Yeah, dude.
Sherilyn and I were just over there a couple of Saturdays ago walking through some of the modular homes. They're gorgeous. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't walk through there because
there's a wow factor.
Yeah, I just honestly do not walk through those anymore because they can basically get anybody financed.
Yes.
And it's the same reason I don't walk into Wilkins anymore, because I always end up with a brand new Harley every time I leave there.
Yeah, right.
I haven't been down to Wilkins in over a year because the last time I was down there it cost me $60,000.
Listen, I want to read something from a
business owner
right here in Barre.
Yep.
That I saw it yesterday, and I'm like, I just got to read this on the air. I mean, this sums it up right here. Are you ready?
Yes.
And I'll tell you who it is after I read it.
Okay.
It says, "My heart goes out to the people who lost loved ones in the horrible plane crash. It literally makes me sick.
Oh, I'll tell you about that, too.
I have also seen some friends on Facebook today that are grieving the loss of a friend from right here in our backyard in an unrelated incident. I'm sorry for your loss and that you are hurting too. I genuinely wish that we could all take a minute to realize why we are friends here in the first place and recognize that life is just too short. Lastly, I understand the last several years of our lives have been difficult with global pandemics, floods, losses, and chaotic politics. I have never seen more hatred than I have in the
100%.
last couple of years, and regardless of your political position, I can wrap my head around how we make it look like it's each other's fault. I have said it a million times over the years. There are so many positive things that we can be doing right here in our own communities. things we can actually accomplish and see the results. I know, as far as me, I can't believe this is the same city I grew up in. It's entirely different. A lot of great things have happened and are happening, but it used to be just so kind and so safe.
What?
Used to be.
What?
It's so easy to be helpful, kind, and thoughtful. It's obviously your right to say what you want to say here, but I encourage you to recognize most of the stuff is just not helping anyone. It's just hurtful, and it causes angst." Signed, Rich McSheffrey.
I got no comment. I got no fucking comment.
Okay.
He doesn't want to know what I really think.
Well, you've known Rich for a long time.
I have. Okay, so first of all, Rich is a little bit younger than I am.
That resonated with me, bro.
There was a time in Barre City, we weren't even allowed to walk down fucking Barre City. There were stabbings. There used to be a little arcade right underneath Planet Rock out there. It's now a strip club. There was stabbings out there. There was people that got murdered at the school bazaar. I mean, we have never. What is our leadership doing to bring us together? You can do these posts and everything else, but when you have from the top down dividing us, you can make all them posts all you want, but it doesn't. It's not resonating. We've never been nice to each other in Barre City. I don't know where that comes from. That has never been. Remember, Richie? Remember when we used to have like fights among schools? Remember the fights at the school? What has changed is the drug problem, the violence problem. It's now no longer fisticuffs. I remember getting my ass beat right on Main Street because they had all those people sitting on Welfare Wall. Remember that?
Yeah.
I remember them things growing up. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think now everybody wants to, well, let's just be peaceful and stuff. We have not been peaceful for 8 years to our neighbors. We haven't. We've said the most vile things. Our leaders have said the most vile things. It is now, if you're not on their side, you're the enemy. Mm-hmm. Where does this come? At what point? We can't do it. We can't do it from the bottom up. Has nobody realized that? You can say anything you want, but the bottom, we are at the bottom. We have no power. Those people that are spending billions of dollars to be on the television every single day to pick on the people that lost an election, to pick on the people that don't support them, 73 million people. How do you do that? You can make all these posts, but the reality is we don't have leaders bringing us together. There's not one leader in our community. There's not one leader nationally that's asking to bring us together. They're all wanting to win the fight. And the people that are going to pay the price of that winning is us. Basically, they want to shut the losers up. Shut the fuck up, loser. It's my way now. Have we not seen this for like a week? I won, too fucking bad. What happened to the days where what happened to that? Like, hey, where's Abraham Lincoln? Where are these guys bringing people together? Did you know in Germany right now, they're having protests of over 50, there was 100,000 people yesterday protesting for America, protesting for us. Around Europe, they are fucking protesting for us. For our human rights, just for decency. We don't have it. There's no decency. We are now empowered. We are now empowered to do piece of shit things. We have a president that just released 1,500 domestic terrorists and then took the security away from every single person they're hunting. And then you want to talk about decency? Wow, that wound me out, man.
I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that bothers me.
I think
we lost all human decency.
I think Rich is at least my takeaway from it. And again, that when I saw that last night, it resonated with me, man. I think his point is to take a deep breath before you become a keyboard pirate and start spewing off all kinds
Absolutely. I've had to get away from. I find myself, I get really, really, and that's a thing that we'll talk about later is about, mental health, trauma, and emotional responses. And that's the thing. That's how our politics are being run right now, is through emotional response. That's it. It's not about policy. It's not about anything. It's about getting that emotional response to keep you fucking divided. Can you imagine if we had a leader that said, hey, wait a minute, let's sit down with the left and the right and come up with a plan. I want to fill my cabinet with both. I still don't even think that'll work by this point. We're down to two parties.
Becky is saying that you're obviously quite aroused right now. G says it's all about the politician's ego and their opinion, not about their constituents.
How does a billionaire relate to me that's never had to struggle? How do you come up with policy? You now have our entire cabinet is full of just full of billionaires. that are going to tell me how to live my life that they've never struggled before.
What do you think about this comment from G saying politicians are causing mental health through making people depressed and worried and unsafe?
Yep. That chaos. I believe that.
Constant says, and money.
We don't have the money to fight these people anymore. Elon Musk spent $217 million to get Donald Trump elected. He made $217 billion the day he was elected, peddling influence. That man, so that he can absolutely influence. He has so much money to influence elections all over the world. He's in Germany right now trying to influence the alt-right in Germany. They want to prosecute him in Germany because of his influence in the elections, and we allow it. We allow it. You know why we allow it? Because that's our team. That's our side. Yeah. We don't care as long as it's our side, our team. We don't care about egg prices that are not going down right now. We don't care about grocery prices because our team's in charge now. So it does none of that stuff. All the stuff that mattered before the election, now notice it no longer matters. It just doesn't. Our team won. So those things are no longer relevant. Instead, the Gulf of America is relevant. Invading Greenland is relevant. Taking over the Panama Canal because you owe taxes to Panama is relevant. That's going to how is any of that helping the average American? Going and ripping kids out of schools instead of taking the illegal immigrants, the 30,000 illegal immigrants in our federal prisons that we're paying for every day in a private prison. Oh, I know. We make money off those private prisons, don't we? Why would we send those people back? We're making money off of them. I don't know, man. Like I said, and I really do, and I 100% admit I have a skewed view of those people. I have a biased view of those people because I have a certain compassion and I have a certain humanity that I feel towards those people, living with them and seeing what they went through and fighting alongside of them. I have a difference. So 100%, please. I am biased.
And this is based on your time.
My own personal experience watching those people die in those countries.
In the military.
Yeah. Bro, I can remember being
Where?
El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras. I've been to Bogota, Colombia. I've been to so many of these Southern and South American countries. And if you ever saw the way these people live in these mud huts, things have gotten better. It's been a long time. Things have gotten better for them. But compared to what we have here, and they are some of the hardest working motherfuckers you've ever met. They really are.
You and I.
They just want for their family.
We had a conversation the other day. I was on the air talking about all of this. Mm-hmm. And you called in. We were talking about affordable housing here in Vermont. And you called in, and you had some really...
So the thing is I'm not an expert in any field, but all I can go by is my own perspective. That's all we all can go by is our own perspective and experience.
Are you entitled to your own perspective?
I'm entitled to it, of course. But I think what lacks in conversation between people is the inability to view another perspective. Mm-hmm. So you can have an argument. I can have an argument. I can say, this is why I feel this way because of this perspective. But also, I have the ability to have empathy and realize somebody else and just try to put myself in somebody else's shoes. We say this all the time, but we never do. Walk a mile in my shoes. Mm-hmm. We say this to our kids, but we ignore it as adults. Mm-hmm. Do we really ever try to understand somebody else's perspective? Like, you know what? Like the whole BLM thing back in the day. This will really get people. Oh, Jesus. But I wanted to try to understand that side of it. Why there was so many people that were so upset. What was going on? Why people were raging in the streets over their civil rights? I don't know. I think if more people could sit down and just try to understand the opposite side of the perspective, I think that's what really is.
I think, and I don't want to speak for Rich McJeffrey, but I think the sentiment behind his post was that we need to spend more time listening to each other.
Yeah, we have to try to understand each other, but that has to start at the top. And it's not. Rich can do that post, and you can say that, but it's not happening. He has a limited audience. When you have guys spending $200 million to be on fucking TV, how do you compete with that?
I understand.
It's basic propaganda.
But Rich is also saying that it has to start at a. I mean, you say it has to start at the top. At the top, he's saying. In the meanwhile, let's all try to.
Really? We are beyond that, dude. I don't know, man. and I know why he's saying that, because he won. His side won. And that's what it is. Now there's a few of them that are like, oh, let's all peace and love. No, you can't fucking do that. You've been telling us for 4 years just the most violent, hateful shit.
Speaking of
both sides.
Yeah. And speaking of we're trying to put out a message here of positivity, and most importantly, connectivity, listening to each other, being kind.
Yep.
Being respectful. And with that said, why, I would love to invite John on the air, because I don't know what this is. John Anderson saying, he just posted a comment saying, soak it up, Rex. Tampon Thompson. You buy ads.
What? He doesn't. We'll talk. John has some serious mental issues. Something's going on with him, and I troll him a little bit, and I should absolutely stop with that. That's my own fault. I brought that on. I heard a quote there not too long ago, and it made fucking sense. Never offend a coward. A man, if you offend a man, most of the time they'll stand up to you or they'll say something. A coward will not. A coward will not come to you face to face. A coward will do anything to win, so you always have to watch your back. A coward will stab you. A coward will cause violence. A man won't. A righteous person won't. So be careful when you offend a coward, because that's what it turns into. What it turns into is stopping comments on a page so you can get your side of it out. They're relentless with this. Don't offend a coward. It's not worth it. You could lose your life offending a coward because they're a coward. John strikes me as a person like a coward. And I hate to say that and I don't even know. I don't know, because I don't know the guy. I really, really don't, but he's obsessed with me. And I get it. Whatever. It's usually the ladies, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's all about.
I don't, honestly, I don't. I made a comment because. So.
I mean, we were, is this a joke that he wants to go hand in hand with you? That's got to be a joke.
I view it as a joke. I don't believe he does. I think he has some serious mental issues.
It's gotta be.
I would break him in two. That's why I don't entertain his shit. If he ever showed up, 100%. I wouldn't violently hurt that little man. We could put gloves on and have a controlled session.
Grapple.
I'd like to. No, we could put gloves on.
All right.
Because he's not a grappler. I'm a grappler.
Okay.
I grapple. So I would go. He's supposedly a ninja or something from what he said there.
Oh.
So, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, he's a little man. So I've had to start viewing these people the same way Somebody asked me this the other day. There was a big thing and it was going on. And they said, this man fucking disrespected me and you're a man. So if you're going to disrespect me, you have to face the consequences, which are getting beat up. My problem is there's a lot of people I could beat up just to win an argument. Did I really win the argument? So I've started viewing them the same way that I would view like my 3-year-old toddler niece. She could say off the wall wild fucking things to me. And am I going to beat her up? Absolutely not. My wife can say shit to me. Do I beat her up? Nope.
John's saying, you're the one starting shit with me. You're the one threatening to come to my house.
I threatened to go to his work to meet him. I'd never met the guy. He wanted to do it.
That was a joke, though.
Yeah.
That was a
He's
joke.
a clown, dude. He's been a clown. He's on there. He's on
as if you're gonna go to someone's business and beat them up. That's not the kind of guy.
You know what I fight? I either fight in the gym.
Joke.
I fight in the cage, or I would defend myself. Some little 100-pound clown online? Absolutely not. I view him the same as my 3-year-old toddler niece. He means nothing to me. He can't do anything about it.
What if it's John and I both taking you on?
Do I have one arm tied behind my back or both? I think both of you together don't weigh as much as I do. I mean, but really, I don't want to entertain that because I honestly feel he has mental issues. And I think at this point, it's just I'm now being a douchebag by contributing to that. At first, I thought it was funny, but now I really think he has serious mental issues because he did a big post claiming that he's this big coder and he knows so much about this. And so I took that post and that picture and I sent it to a friend of mine. And my friend, who used to be a real coder, got hired by the NSA. And he works for them and he does things for them for computers. And he looked at that and his exact words were, John Anderson's delusional. So it was at that point I realized he had some real mental issues.
Yeah.
And as a man, we deal with a lot of mental issues on our own.
Yeah.
And I have mental issues. I have issues that I deal with myself.
Who honestly, who doesn't? I mean, who doesn't?
And I don't want to talk about mental issues and then troll a guy that has mental issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
right.
That's kind of like piece of shit right there. Yeah. And I don't want to be that piece of shit. So I'm going to leave John alone. If he really wants to get some rounds in, I would teach him how to fight if he needed to. Because he seems like a little fella and he has a lot of mental issues. And I imagine he fucks with a lot of people. Yeah. So he probably I don't know, man.
Got a midweek ripe left over from Wednesday that's skipped by me that I would love to hear what you have to say about this and anyone else. Got an email here says we pay for streaming services like Roku. Why isn't it that we are why is it that we're already paying to have the service? So why do we have to pay to watch a movie? I got a thing on Netflix that says that we were looking up a movie and it says that you have to upgrade to the no ad streaming package on Netflix. Which was $6.99 a month, and now Netflix has gone up. That was in the news last week. But this is a movie that was this individual is saying has been out for like 30 years, 26 years, and now they've got to pay to be able to watch a movie that's that old. They have to upgrade their Netflix package to the next level.
Oh my! Are they bitching about capitalism? I mean, Roku's a business. They found a way to make money. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I don't know
now
what
it's
to
like
say.
you want to watch a movie that's 25, 30 years old. You got to pay for it now?
You know what you should do? You should contact your senator and representative, and you should make them come up with a law so they can't do that. Or, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not an expert on Roku. I just know that that's part of capitalism. It's part about making money. It's a business.
It is a business. It is a business. But, my God. I mean, whatever happened to the days where we could just go watch an old movie that's been sitting around for a little while?
We didn't. We had to pay cable fee. We had to buy individual stations. And then those individual stations, we had to pay pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. Only the name. It went from Spectrum to Roku. What has changed? Roku just... And it's funny because all they did was take the cable business model and call it Roku.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember back in the day when you first got cable, you had all those stations, and then they were like, wait a minute, we can make more money if we take out Max, HBO.
Yep.
We could take out all these and start selling them back to you as packages.
Yep.
Netflix, they all did the same thing. Same exact business model.
Amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be a great, I mean.
Is that all it is? Is just simple capitalism?
I don't know. I guess that's my perspective. That's how I view it. How do you, I mean, you can bitch about it, but what can you do about it?
No.
That's until somebody else comes along with a different program and says, hey, we'll do it cheaper this way.
Yeah.
And then they'll get greedy and they'll figure out how to break it apart and make more money.
What do you think about the Monday after the Super Bowl? Should that be a holiday?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think?
I just remember being in the Army, dude. And that was the day. They would wake you up. They would tell you, you're like, you're off. We understand it's Super Bowl Sunday and Monday. You are off. They would wake our ass up at 4:30 in the morning and piss test us.
Wow.
Oh, I hated that. You just had to plan on it.
Do you think there should be a presidential executive order stating that the Monday after the Super Bowl is a holiday?
I don't believe in presidential executive orders at all. I think they circumvent our legislative system. I think I don't like the power that it gives an individual. So no,
right.
I don't agree with that.
All right. 41%, according to a new study, say that the Monday after the Super Bowl is the worst Monday of their entire year back at work. The worst. Why? So, and I got into this discussion yesterday with a friend. Why can't the Super Bowl be on a Saturday? Why can't it be on a Saturday night?
I don't know.
Seriously, what is it? What is it about that it can't be a Saturday night?
I don't know. I don't
Why
follow
is it
hockey.
Always a Sunday night?
I don't follow hockey. I couldn't tell you that. You'd have to get some hockey expert in here to tell you all about it.
So you're not going to be watching the Super Bowl?
I probably will. I'll start it, fall asleep, and wake up for the end of it.
Okay.
That's normally what I do. Same thing I used to do for the Daytona 500. I'd watch the first 10 laps, fall asleep, and wake up for the last 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that what all old people do?
Amazing. Ecuador.
Yes.
Burger King is serving donut burgers.
Bro, I was in El Salvador.
Have you seen the pictures of this donut burger from Burger King?
No.
Oh, my God. It's the most disgusting thing. I'm going to show it to you in here.
Bro, those countries, a lot of those. Oh,
yeah.
You think that's a bad thing?
I think that's a bad thing right there.
I would totally eat that, and I feel
What?
my arteries clogged. Oh, yeah.
way.
Sweet and salt at the same time. What? 100%. You know the worst part is that's probably a 5-star restaurant in those countries. I was in El Salvador. I shit you not. We were like, oh my God, I hadn't had pizza in almost a year, and we were in I was just doing some things in El Salvador, and we saw a Pizza Hut. I was like, oh fuck yeah, we're going to a Pizza Hut. And I remember walking in there. I had my shorts on and a do-rag on my head, and everybody was all dressed up inside of this Pizza Hut, eating pizzas with knives and forks. They looked at us like we were savages.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really weird to see those as like a real restaurant. But
there's some whacked out shit going on in other countries with U.S. national franchises. I mean, I don't know how. In China, look what they're doing. Crazy. Who would want to put some burgers in between some glazed donuts? But no, I'm saying that's a resounding,
I think it's the sweet and salty. 100%. We're gonna have Big Kenny on here next week.
Yeah, Big Kenny's giving a shout out this morning. He'll be
because I'm gonna be at the fights with Sophia. So Sophia's fighting next week down in New Hampshire for Combat Zone for Calvin Cater.
Okay.
So she's fighting down there. That's our whole team will be down there.
Yeah.
All right. What we're gonna do that. I think when they come back, Lucas is he's setting up. So. Our self-defense course went great. There was so many people inside of there. Lucas ended up getting sick. Me and Sophia taught it.
Well, everybody's got the flu now.
Yeah, it was. It was horrible there for a little bit. But, bro, you should have seen their faces when Sophia was doing these super dynamic throws on me. I was launched into the air. So
she kicked your ass.
Yeah, no, it was great. Because we did that, we wanted to show people that with training, even a 135-pound female can toss around a 200-pound man. The little old lady that was there, she was like, how the hell did she just get you so high in the air? And I was like, because she understands where her hips need to be. She understands body mechanics, stuff like that. So with such a huge response, Lucas has been like thinking of things to do with his facility. And the first thing that he's going to do is he's going to do another women's only self-defense.
All right.
So watch the page. He'll announce that because we had so many people ask for a women's only. So he heard them and he's going to do that for them. They were so excited over it. So that he will be doing that. The other thing that he's trying to do is...
When is that happening?
He has not picked the date because he's got to get through Sophia's fight. So it'll probably be like 2 weeks after Sophia. I'm assuming. I don't know. He hasn't picked the date. Just follow Granite City MMA and the Facebook page so that you can see it.
All right.
So the other thing that he's thinking of doing, because he has such a beautiful facility, is he's been trying to hook up with the Barrytown Police Department.
Okay.
Because we would like to do something that has to do with keeping the community safe, and that is safe gun handling for kids.
Wow.
Yeah, because the NRA puts out a really great Eddie the Eagle program for kids on what happens if you're at somebody's house and you come across a gun.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's about safety and stuff like that. So we would love to. I know Lucas would love to have the law enforcement guys there in Barrytown to get with him if they see this, so that we can come up with a gun safety program, and we'd like to do it on a regular basis, so all the kids are able to come in and see this, and we'd love for the law enforcement people to teach that part of it.
Okay.
Here's the issue. Me.
You're an issue?
I am absolutely an issue. And so this is where the mental health thing comes in. Everybody looks at me and they're like, what a fucking... I've had people that were envious of me, and that blows my mind. I'm like, I don't know what you're envious of me from. I mean, if you saw inside my head, you would not be envious. So as a child, I was horribly abused. I was sexually assaulted. I was molested. I was beaten. I was physically and emotionally abused. My parents at a young age decided they needed a babysitter. So they fostered a teenage boy that was molesting kids. And they made him my babysitter. So that's where it started. And then throughout my whole life, there's always been severe trauma, and I never knew it was like a trauma. I never knew. Like, my father caught me being molested by a grown man and beat me up because he refused to have a faggot in his house. So we're about to get deep here.
Here I am thinking that we were just wrapping things up, but wow.
Yeah. So there was that throughout my life. So I have been, everything I've dealt with has been dealing with like emotional responses. So I've been a piece of shit to the cops around here locally. So this is things that I have to work through. Had nothing to do with them. It had to do with my own problem with authority. It's my own problem with my own childhood, my own mental issues that I had. And I never realized I had mental issues. Didn't know. I thought I was just a normal person. I didn't understand that rage, where that rage came from. And there's never anybody to talk to. There really isn't. I went to a psychiatrist when my doctor sent me to a psychiatrist. And because my wife found out that I think about suicide. She's like, oh, fuck, I never knew that. Why would you know that? I would never tell anyone that. That's me. So, and if I want to do it, that's my choice. There's nobody saying I have to stay on this planet. So they sent me to a psychiatrist, and his focus was on how many guns I had and what my plan was to stay safe. I was so disconnected from that motherfucker. Just like any other veteran, I don't want to talk to anybody now. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to a professional. When you're hyper-focused on my guns, I don't care. Leave me the fuck alone. Because my biggest fear is they're going to take my guns. They're going to put me in a mental institution with padded walls and feed me a bunch of fucking drugs to where I don't know my own mind, I don't know who I am. That's a real fear. That's a real fear for a lot of us. But parents, you don't understand what you do to a child when they're developing and you abuse them. The screaming at them, the beating of them. And I didn't, it really hit me after my mom died. That was a huge mental thing for me.
And that happened,
yeah,
not too long ago. When? A couple of years ago.
No, it's been about a year now. So.
Okay. Wow. I thought it was more like 2.
Yeah. Okay. It's been there. So, that's why mental health, man, against guys, we have no one to talk to. Like, I'm not going to get online and talk to my buddies, or nobody knows how to deal with this. And so we suck it up. We sit back. I watch things on TikTok, especially like Theo or something, and he'll start talking about being unloved. I break down. Privacy in my own home, I break down. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Shut that camera off.
Yeah, it's off. It's on me.
I know that feeling as a child. I know that feeling as having your father tell you you're the root of all their problems. You were never supposed to be here. You've ruined their life. So I felt that, and that I have a lot of empathy for kids. I really do, especially abused kids. I have a ton. I have a ton of empathy for bullies because I know where they're coming from. I was a bully. I get it. I got bullied at home, so I brought it to school. There was a time I remember driving home from Milton, and I walked into the woods with my gun, and I was leaned against a tree. I didn't want to go too far. I didn't want my family to find me. So I went to Stonebridge Road. I parked my truck so they could find my truck. And and I knew if I did it there, they would probably send a search party. My family wouldn't have to be exposed to finding me. I'll try to make it through this story, but this is really hard for me. I was on that version. I remember asking God for a sign. I've never told anyone this. I got a text, and it was 4 words. It was from my son. He said, "I love you, Dad." I put my gun away and decided that wasn't the day. Wow. I can't believe I said that story out there. I've never told anyone that. So when you look at people, especially men, and you think, and you envy them, life isn't always great, man. And even some of the most successful people in the world have fucked up heads. You know? So that's why I don't want to fuck with John Anderson, because I've come to the realization he has some real, and just as men, I don't want to fuck with another man that's having those kind of problems, because I have empathy for John. I really do. I know I troll him, and you know, I'm not worried about him beating me up. I don't care what he says. I really don't. But I have a lot of empathy for these people. I have empathy for men. I really do. Women, man, they're so lucky. They're so lucky to have people to talk to. They're so lucky to have friends. You know, when you talk to your buddies, what do they tell you? Fucking rub some fucking dirt in it, man. Get over it. I don't want to hear your problems because it's going to bring up my problems. I don't want to talk about suicide because I think about suicide. We all have those same things in our fucking heads. That's why we don't want to talk about to other men. If our wives could see what was in our heads, it would fucking scare them to death. I keep every bit of anxiety away from my family. I keep it all inside to shield them, because I'm the protector of the family. That's how we were raised. That's how we, as men, that's how we do it. We keep it all inside. 87% of all suicides are men. The weight on our shoulders is fucking insane. Insane. So our wives don't know. And this stuff has affected every part of my life, every one of my relationships, you know, my kids, my family, drugs, alcohol. You know, you're always trying to find a way to make that shit go away, whether it be through drugs, whether it be through alcohol. And once again, parents, you are such a huge influence on your children. You have no clue. Sorry.
Don't have to be.
I only showed this vulnerable part of myself hoping it helps somebody else. I feel very, very weak right now. I feel embarrassed right now for even talking about this. And the worst part is, most all the men watching this know exactly the place I'm coming from. We've all felt it. We all know it. And our wives think we're fucking crazy, that we're just angry people. Nope. We're trying to survive. We're just trying to survive by ourselves. We're trying to hold the weight of our family. We're holding the weight of everything by ourselves. We don't want to open up to our wives because we are the patriarch. We are the strong person. And if we're not the strong ones, who the fuck's going to be the strong one in our family? We have to stand strong. But how do we stand strong and survive? And I wish I knew the answer, because I don't. So the only thing that I have is I have to look for signs to stay here. How fucking, can you Well, you can imagine it. You're a man. Ladies, imagine that every day is just a survival. What sign are you going to look for today to not start a shotgun? And then the doctors, the whole thing, like I said, the taking the guns away. You think if I want to fucking end myself, you taking all my guns away is going to stop that? It's not. It's not. And I'm glad I got it out there. And I'd rather me be embarrassed than have another guy kill himself today.
Vermont, second leading cause of death is suicide in this little tiny state. Second.
Yeah, because you feel like you're drowning. You feel like there's no out. There's nothing. It's that dark place. It's that dark hole. Look for a sign. Just look for a sign to make it another day. That's all we can do. Live day by day, right? Take it one day at a time. Some days are better than others, but you want me to tell you what is the biggest factor?
Mm-hmm.
A good woman. Having an understanding woman, having a woman that stands behind you is huge, man. Without that, that will compound your problems.
I can most certainly relate to that. Sherilyn has to deal with me on a daily basis.
My wife doesn't deal with me. My wife
hourly
ignores
basis.
me for days on end, thinking that our problems will go away. That is the absolute worst thing that you can do to somebody, is ignore them when they're going through that shit. Because all it does is compound daily. Daily. And the longer you ignore it, the bigger the explosion's going to be at the end. Address the problem. Have those conversations. If you see your husband sitting there just not talking, there's shit going on, man. There really, really is. And I don't know. That's once again that I think that it goes back. It's hard once we become adults to fix all that shit. Just know as a parent what you're creating when you beat your kid, when you scream at your kid. You have no clue what you're doing to that child. Think about it. Just take a minute. If you're that angry with your kid or whatever, just take a second. Take a deep breath and just take a second. It's overwhelming to be a parent. Don't ruin your child's entire life because of an emotional response. That's why I believe in older parents. Don't have kids when you're 17, 18, 19 years old. Wait until you're 25, 26, 27, 30 years old. When you're more mature and you can handle being a parent. Because it's stressful. It's super stressful. And because of my own trauma as a child and everything, I left a lot of that burden on my wife. I was out doing drugs. I was on a 1% motorcycle gang. That's how I dealt with my shit. And I left all of that on my wife. Created resentment, hate. I was a piece of shit by my own choices. And I admit it. I'm not above that. My ego's gone, man. It really has. But
wow.
Soldier on, right? That's what we do.
I think there's a good number of folks that are watching and listening this morning that if they're not thanking you with their comments, they're thanking you in their minds.
I don't need to be thanked.
Just for being so transparent.
That's come with my age. I never want to be transparent with anyone.
Listen, there is, and I know that there's plenty of people that get ticked off when they watch or listen, well, to anything, any podcast, any radio station, any TV station, and locally especially. One of the biggest challenges, I think, that has come into this microphone is that too many people take us too seriously.
Yeah.
And go ahead, grab my keys. They're right over there on the end of the right over there on the shelf right there. You'll see. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Silver key. I think that too many people, too many listeners take things too seriously, and when they listen, they don't necessarily know when we're really just having fun and just 100%. Just having a good time and just goofing around and just talking real life like we would if we were hanging out at a bar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
You know,
we need more common ground. We need more.
Well, I mean, listen,
sitting down for both perspectives.
We're gonna make fun of each other. You make fun of me all the time.
Yep.
Fat, short. You're bald. I'm not. You know, I've gone through puberty. You haven't yet. You know, things like this. But we're going to make fun of each other. We're also going to make fun of people that are watching, listening, and we're going to disagree. We're going to agree. That's just the way that we are. I mean, the podcast is called Aired Out. And if you don't want to follow it,
well, it's like that.
Or you don't want to listen, then
Michael
don't.
Poitras keeps making comments. Come on in, tell us your point of view.
Right.
If we're just fucking talking down our ass, come tell us.
Right.
I have no. So, and that's the thing is, I'm not here to beat up somebody because they have a different point of view. You can say whatever you want to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Look who's just walked in, McSheffrey. Well, man, you missed it, brother.
You guys look terrible.
Well, he looks terrible. I look fucking amazing. Look at me, bud.
Long winter, man, huh? Jeez.
You missed it. You were in a meeting, but we were talking plenty about you, bud. Yeah. I know you.
What's Tampon Rex bringing to the table today?
Oh my God! See, look at that. Jesus.
We were talking about how Barre, Vermont was not fucking rainbows and unicorns when we were kids. It wasn't until the mayor, Tom Lozon, came in and really cleaned up the city. The city was really bad back in the day when I was growing up. There was nothing nice about it. We weren't together. You had the poor. You had the fucking town kids that come down and fight with the city kids.
I read your message.
What's that?
Your post from last night on social media, Rich.
Yeah, I was drunk.
Were you drunk?
Yeah, I'm usually always.
That's why I don't get. That's why I cannot drink and get
no,
on
I'm
Facebook
no,
anymore.
I'm kidding. I was.
I read that this morning.
Just sick of it. Just sick of it.
What are you sick of? What are you sick of?
Mostly Rex's stuff. Mostly. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. It's just like I think I caught a little bit of it when I walked in. You know, you can agree to disagree on stuff. Doesn't mean you don't care about your brothers. I mean, we went to high school together. If you ever need anything, I've called him before. He's come over. We don't have to have the exact same political alignment.
Right.
I mean, how is that even possible? We weren't built the same way, born and raised the same way.
Right.
We were, nothing was the same. We didn't have the same influences throughout our life. Like, I've spent place in the military and all over the country in different places, and you get things from where you are and your surroundings, and you try to compartmentalize them and come up with your own opinions and life lessons. It's just all
That's
different.
why I was very, very frank about like my point of view doesn't align with a lot of people when it comes to immigration because I lived with those people. I have a different perspective of those people. And my point was your post, me and you, we could talk about this on a podcast that only has, 10,000 people viewing or whatnot. But we have leaders that have billions of dollars to keep us divided. We will never from the ground up bring people together. We need leaders. We need leaders.
But as soon as you recognize that's impossible, then you got to start, trying to figure out what it is you can do with your brains and with your skills and with your platforms and whatever to try to fix what you can around you. It's a small
town.
Because if not, you're just going to be miserable. You can't look at this stuff. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on or what your opinions are. When you're watching this stuff, feelings get hurt and people get upset. And like I said, you're friends with somebody on Facebook for a reason. Obviously everyone requested me. I haven't ever requested anyone, but you're friends with them for a reason. You accepted them, all right? And it's like I look at it now, or I'm starting to look at it more after the last 8 years of just nonsense, is you never talked at the dinner table about politics and religion, right?
Right.
So why are we doing it on a platform with our friends and family?
Yeah. Because we can.
I understand.
Anonymous. So now we don't have to deal with the consequences right then and there. We don't have to. We can say the wildest shit. That's
I get
what
it.
Social media.
I get it and understand it. I just don't appreciate it. I think it's melting brains. I do. I just don't.
The thing about both you guys are busier than I am, and that says something. But the fact that you guys do take the time, both of you, to pay attention to what's being said in your community. I mean, there's plenty of social media platform keyboard pirates, even here close by, more so maybe even close by. But the fact that you guys pay attention to what's being said, one of my knee-jerk reactions last night when I read your post was, I'm like, here's Rich McSheffrey, busy freaking dude, but he's aware of what's going on, of what's being said locally here. I'm talking Main Street, Barre. There is so much divisiveness. I mean,
in my business, I'm not allowed to. There's a lot of things that I probably would say if I, was always off the record. But you can't.
Right.
I can't divide. We don't discriminate. Discriminate against anyone that comes in. You want to buy a hamburger and a beer?
Sure.
Our doors are open. That's what we're there for.
Right.
We've never, ever, ever had anything like that.
Sure.
I've never had a niche on my record in
right.
35 years in this business because that's what the hospitality industry is. You can't voice your opinions. If I say one thing that's off color, which I did on CAX. I said it on CAX. They had this. I actually thought it was a joke. I really did. I thought the article was a joke. I didn't even, in fairness, I didn't even read it. I probably should have. It was about a 498-pound rapper that she was denied a Lyft ride because of her size. And I said, perhaps she should have called forklift.
Yeah.
That's how my brain works. It's always a sense of, it's just quick.
I'm unapologetic.
It's quick-witted, and I wasn't doing it because. But she went back or somebody commented. I mean, it got more likes, which yip-de-doo. Who cares? That wasn't the point. I was just like, oh, this is clever, and I put it on there. But because it was the first thing that came to my mind.
I've said that.
But somebody came back and says that's how business owners behave these days. Do you discriminate and pick on and laugh at the people that come to the Cornerstone Pub and Kitchen and tagged it? And I'm like,
yeah.
So I just deleted it. I'm like, it's not worth losing a customer over. It's like, yeah, I have something against people that are overweight, and I sell $5 hamburgers and French fries on.
Right.
Wow. Come on.
That was a good one.
Listen.
It sucks that you have to, and he's right, though. As a business owner, you do have to watch.
Yeah.
And I catch myself because I have emotional responses to everything.
Just wait till I retire one day.
Oh God. That's going to be its own.
So I'm going to be up against you with my podcast.
Planet McSheffrey.
It's going to be insane.
See, all you got to do is show him how to do everything, get him a bunch of followers, and then he can steal all your shit and leave.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you should build up more people so everybody can start a podcast in town and think there's something fucking special.
Yeah. It's like starting your own Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that easy.
I'm going to start one that calls Barry against Tampon Rex.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good page.
Yeah, if I post that on Cornerstone, we'll get like 10,000 likes in a day.
Instantly. Yes.
So cool.
You know, here's the thing, guys. All three of us, and Rex has been taking a very deep dive on mental health.
I didn't mean to come into that.
No. That's
now
right.
you got. I'm done crying.
The three of us. Let's be honest.
What did we figure out?
I think it's fair to say that we like to be liked. I think most people would.
You know
would
what?
Probably
As
feel
growing
that way.
up, and like I said, my trauma, that is like a huge thing for me to be a people pleaser.
Yeah, being a people pleaser.
Yeah, because I could never please my family, my father.
Right.
To this day, my father doesn't talk to me. He killed my mother. He doesn't talk to me. He has nothing to do with me.
When I was on Froggy for 16
Jeez,
years.
Man, I didn't know that. Get me all glad I wasn't here for that part.
It was heavy.
You go back and watch it.
But being on Froggy, it's like every morning, I would have to be happy-go-lucky no matter what was going on in my life.
Yes.
And
it's so hard to fucking prep with that smile, ain't it?
Right. And I had to be, I just
always
wanted.
on stage.
Always on stage. Always, exactly. Rich.
Guys know this.
Where you go in the public, I mean.
Guys
exactly.
fucking know this more than anybody.
Even if there was someone that I didn't particularly like, I had to be friendly all the time, whether I was face to face with them or no matter what. I'm representing Froggy 100.9.
That's right.
Now, this is liberating for me because I can be myself. I know, and I think we all know, you have customers, Rich, that maybe you've lost. Rex, same story with you. Here at Air It Out, absolutely. Absolutely. But, man, it's like I'm not going to say everything that everyone always agrees on. I'm going to get loose. Most of the time I'm goofing around.
I feel bad. Like other restaurants probably think I boycott them or something. I just don't go out.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm a homebody. I've got 2 little girls now. I've got a 25-year-old son. You're busy stuff.
I feel that. I'm at the gym at night, and I'm working during the day.
They still have the ladies' workout up the street?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah. Listen, this is, I think, back to your message, Rich, to sum up here, I think you're just trying to, I think you were just trying to say, and like I said earlier, you should go back and watch this one.
But how do we get leaders how do we start getting leaders that aren't looking to divide us and looking to bring us together? There's nothing, I haven't seen anybody try to bring us together.
One thing about that's difficult is that even for me, people have said it before. Why don't you run for something in blah blah blah? And it's you do, and then you're opening yourself up to so many different opinions, and somebody's going to pick you apart and find the worst thing they can about you and make you look like shit when all your intentions.
That's why I put all my skeletons out there. I'm like, I am a piece of shit that did drugs and did all that stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, your past shouldn't matter. It's what you want. Well, it should actually. That's a little unfair. Some of your past should matter depending upon how bad your past was. But like that kind of stuff. Like, that's all about growing up and getting old. Like, I mean, I do fucking yoga now. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I never ever. You know what I mean, guys? Like, I'm getting fat and I got these kids that I want to live for. So, like, you cut back on drinking, you cut back on this. And
now, are you wearing just
men's clothes?
Are you wearing spandex when you're doing the yoga?
No, I'm
it's
alone.
A yes or no question.
Yeah, no.
Okay, it's no.
I'm trying to answer them like they do in all the Senate hearings. Like,
so sweatpants for Mick Sheffer?
They're sweaty pants. Yeah, they're a little bit sweaty. No, you don't sweat during yoga. Not the kind I do. I do like old people yoga.
Awesome. That's what my wife does. Sits in a chair.
Yeah,
it's for like 80-year-old people can do
stop.
it.
You got to start somewhere.
Listen, man.
I agree.
We all need to
baby steps.
We need to laugh. We need to connect with our community. We need to connect with our neighbors. Rex is always pushing that. He's got a neighbor that he doesn't agree with, but they talk.
Yeah. I just sent him a message yesterday because he's got a family member that's going through some tough stuff. So I sent him a message. Eddie Blow.
Yeah.
Shout out. Prayers to his family member.
Yeah. We need to take a deep breath. We need to not take each other so seriously also. Do not take this podcast seriously.
I don't think anybody takes us seriously, obviously.
We goof around a lot. We call each other names. Lighten up. Whatever happened to us, lighten it up. I mean, everything you see on your phone, everything that's coming down the pipe in the news, it's all serious shit. This and that, it's constant.
How do you think they keep us divided? Everything's a tragedy. So I don't believe. So a lot of people believe in conspiracies and like the government creates them. I don't believe that. I believe that all they have to do is tag along. There's going to be a tragedy every day. There's 330 million people. They don't need to create a tragedy. We'll create our own.
Yeah.
They just have to fucking take advantage of it.
Right.
That's it.
As long as you're watching mainstream news, going on Facebook and having so many different opinions and all that, it's never going to change. It's just you've got way too much in your head that you're trying. If you've got the time and you're trying to navigate through this shit, it's like you get to a point where you don't know what to believe, and you have no choice but to develop your own opinion to move on. It's hard.
I disagree.
But I don't have my master's degree in political science, but I'm trying to listen to people that are doctors, lawyers, and I just think sometimes it's like I'm not even smart enough to figure this shit out. So
I'm not on the whole fake media thing.
Donate my time to cook some shit for some people.
Mainstream media, fake media, to me, that is government propaganda to get you not to watch what's going on. That's all it is. We all know there's news stations and we all know that they're biased. But we know that the information that they're putting out, you can research yourself.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. So the difference between mainstream media versus TikTok, YouTube, and all the other.
Trying to research it.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Not fully.
No, you're absolutely right. So instead, what people are doing is they go and they get on a TikTok and find a TikTok video and let somebody else do the research for them. And then they go, well, you're watching mainstream media, so you're just listening to fake news. That's why you're all fucked up. But
no one can tell me that social media has not affected us and the youth. I mean, when I first, 16 years ago, getting on Facebook was like, that was supposed to be for college kids, for them to communicate and date, hang out.
About MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace too.
I used MySpace to post the wildest shit.
What was your song?
Get to the chopper. It was a baby. That's what it was.
Mine was whatever that song was. Let the Bodies Hit the Floor that they played with Papelbon walked in. I'm surprised has anyone shit on my Patriots hat yet? I was waiting for that.
What I'm wearing.
It's like I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
What I'm wearing.
Wore a Red Sox hat my whole life.
I guess Vermont needs to come up with their own fucking professional team so we can start rooting for them.
Well, we got the Coyotes coming.
Absolutely.
Man. They're coming to the
Aren't
Barre
they semi-pro?
Yeah. Yep. Semi-pro. Yeah.
Are we allowed to call them Coyotes?
What?
Is that offensive?
How is that offensive now?
Well, isn't that what they call the people, the drug lords and coyotes?
Oh boy.
The Mexican drug lords? No, but isn't it? I don't know. I'm sure it'll offend somebody.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Rich, for popping in here.
Yeah, sure.
Rex?
Bobby.
I don't even know what to say to you other than just a huge thank you and high respect for you being so transparent about your life. I didn't see that coming. But we went down a road today for damn sure.
Yeah, we did.
And I appreciate that. You got a message out today that
brother,
was very much unrehearsed, and
we all know when we look at each other, we all know.
Yeah.
We see you. You're not alone. Just look for that sign when you're ready to fucking put that shotgun in your mouth. Really look for that fucking sign. There will be a sign. Always.
Well, I definitely walked in on the wrong day. Holy shit.
No, you
No,
didn't.
it was
starting to get anxiety.
Great conversation, and
I'll go back and watch it. I'm certain that if you didn't know it, I certainly didn't know it.
And frankly, one that needed to happen, a conversation that needed to be aired out, and one that honestly.
So thank you, John Anderson. Thank you. You know, he's the reason we talked about this today.
I walk in not knowing what's going on, tell you both look terrible, and call him Tampon Rex in the first 30 seconds.
Wow.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Not at all. Don't be
thanks,
sorry,
Rich.
man. You didn't know. There's no reason to be sorry. You didn't do anything wrong.
Just
it's okay.
Hey,
man.
just remember, if I bothered you, look for the sign, man. Look for the sign.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
JD.